Just love that sound. I'm at Regner Park in West Bend. And holy cow, look at the trees that fell over here. Look at this. Yes, I wonder if people actually walk across that. I will not be partaking in that today because oh, a little waterfall over there. Never noticed that there before. I never noticed that you had water coming from that direction and that direction either. I've never been on this part of the creek, brook, whatever you want to call it, here at Regner Park. I've been having a little bit of problems. Not anxiety wise, I'm doing okay. However, anxiety makes things more difficult. When I used to be just that is the Regner Park beach and lagoon where people are swimming. The thing I have an issue with is just being in a car and being able to drive far distances alone right now. I'm able to go a couple, 20, 30 miles, and unfortunately that's limiting what I'm doing. And you notice I'm doing a lot of West Bend lately. I'm doing a lot of a concentrated area. That's going to change, but I'm not going alone. My wife, Mrs. Yogi, and I, in about 2 weeks, we're going to be going on a excursion. Not going to say what it is. It's I suppose I could say what it is. Route 66. It's not going to be the whole route. I would love to do the whole route, and I will someday. But we're not going to be doing the whole route. We're just going to be doing Illinois. But there's a lot to see and do in Illinois. I don't know where we're going to start, though, because the beginning and end of Route 66 is downtown Chicago. And we plan on leaving early, but I just don't know what time we're going to get down there. And my map that I'm going by actually has us going starting over by the United Center for some reason. I have been to the starting and end points of Route 66, have had pictures taken and stuff like that. I've been down there for mostly ghost tours, paranormal stuff. Haven't been there in a couple years though. But Mrs. Yogi and I, at the end of this month, are going to take a couple days and do Route 66 in Illinois. So I will be doing that. I would love to be able to do a lot more and go to more places, and that's on my agenda for this summer. I'm gonna take it slow and maybe go up north of Wisconsin and film some stuff. Maybe go to like Green Bay, stay overnight there, film stuff. I'm not sure, but that's something I want to do. But again, when you're dealing with something that's different than how you used to be, it makes things more difficult. And people are probably saying, "Oh, Yogi, it's just anxiety. Get over it. You can." I wish it was that easy. If anybody suffers from anxiety that watches these episodes, comment below. It's hard. It's it's all in the mindset. Something gets rewired in your head, and what used to be saved for occasions when you were really scared of something, or that adrenaline burst when you really needed it, now it's all messed up. You're getting adrenaline bursts all the time, and but you're getting other feelings as well. And I'm doing well, but I don't know if I'm to that point yet where I just want to do something, take a long trip by myself. So I've basically been fighting with myself about doing something like that, because the summers are short here in Wisconsin. You only have June, July, August, and then it starts cooling down in September, and it doesn't start warming up again until May. It's a pain in the butt, It's an inconvenience, but I feel like I'm doing better with it. I mean, I've been dealing with this now since July of 2020. So it's been 3 years. And for some people, they can overcome this rather quickly. Some people live the rest of their lives inside their house. They're afraid to leave their house. They have monophobia. And luckily that never happened with me. I mean, there were times when I had to stop doing what I was doing and go home. Like if I was working, delivering or something, and I had a pretty bad anxiety episode, in the beginning, I would stop and come home and lay on the couch and just be worn out. Because when you have these surges of adrenaline in your body like that, they wear you out. And when they're really bad, the rest of the night, you just don't feel like even moving. I've learned to deal with that, kind of push myself past it. I'm listening to stuff that's helping. There's a podcast called The Anxious Truth. I find that to be a really good podcast if you are suffering from anxiety. The Anxious Truth. Disordered, which is the gentleman from The Anxious Truth with another guy from England. Those are two that I find have helped me so far get better and work through and, try to start rewiring my brain back and saying, look, you're here, but you're not going to kill me. You're not going to hurt me. You're going to make things uncomfortable for me for a while. But that's about it. I'm slowly working on getting that back. But it's going to take time. It's not going to happen overnight. I wish it would. When I listen to these podcasts, there are people who live pretty normal lives again, and I like to feel like I've come a pretty long way. I did have an issue. There's situations that I have to put myself through that I used to not have a problem with, and just face those fears again. And one of them being traveling by yourself. That will eventually happen. I don't know how long it's going to take, but it's something I'm working on. But I do have a little road trip coming up. Unfortunately, my sister Chucky and I aren't going to be doing any road trip this year. We were hoping to do one every summer, but it wasn't in the cards. I hear something moving in there. We got a deer? Sam Squanch? So anyways, folks, I just wanted to give you a quick heads up of my goal isn't to stay in the West Bend area forever or a 30-mile radius forever. I'm planning on hitting smaller towns. There's still a ton of smaller towns out farther. It's just baby steps. If you ever seen What About Bob? Baby steps. And that's basically what I'm taking bigger steps, but they're steps nonetheless. I mean, I never thought I would have had an issue going to my son's graduation 3 years ago, before July of 2020. I never would have had a problem going to my son's graduation, sitting there in a packed field house for an hour and 40 minutes with a whole bunch of people yelling and screaming. But now that I had anxiety, it was different, and it was hell, and I broke down. I stayed, but I broke down. It's not the same as it was 3 years ago. So just a quick little, I plan on venturing out farther and farther. But as far as a long road trip like the last 2 summers, well, I did the Florida one. There's not going to be a trip like that, at least to my knowledge right now. That could change. But as far as right now, Mrs. Yogi and I are going to do the Route 66 in Illinois, and that's probably going to be my last big trip for the year, unfortunately. So I just want to give you a heads up on how I'm doing anxiety-wise, and there's probably people that are watching these videos that are going through the same thing and even worse. But seriously, folks, check out the Anxious Truth podcast. Check out Disordered podcast. It's helped me so far. So That's going to do it for this episode of Road Trips with Yogi. Please like, share, subscribe, comment. They are all free to do. Don't cost you a thing. If you would like to help support this channel monetarily and help with costs, then go to www.patreon.com/Road Trips with Yogi. Check out what I have available there. I do post my videos there 24 hours in advance before uploading them to YouTube. So if you're on Patreon, you do get to see the videos early, a day early. Plus, I plan on putting more content up on that site. There's also YouTube now. I'm on YouTube. Well, obviously, because you're watching this on YouTube, but I've been able now to become available for subscribers to be members of my channel. So if you'd like to help support me that way, you can become a member on my YouTube channel. Again, I greatly appreciate all of you. Thank you very much for putting up with me and my anxiety. It's not probably what people want to hear, but it's what I'm dealing with right now, and I feel like you folks need to know that and deserve to know that, and that's why the videos might not be as great to watch. It is what it is right now, and I thank you folks for sticking through it with me. So until the next one, folks, take care of yourselves, be good to each other, be good to yourself, and I am out of here. Listen to that brook. I just love that sound. We're going to go back to that. That's going to be our, just listening to that as we fade out. Just kidding. Didn't fall asleep. Take care, folks.